Live. Angry Old Hoops here, special guest, sports and fitness rants, bringing the energy and bringing the facts. This morning I was out for a run and man, he was just spitting stuff like he was the self-researched NBA facts channel. So we're going to talk about that a little bit because this is a topic. I don't know if you watched my videos about this topic, the ridiculousness of changing the rules for Jordan. But I'm going to do an opening here. I'll go topic by topic. And let me just say, you were right what you said about Isaiah Thomas, because you're getting this information from people like Isaiah Thomas. But it's coming on a podcast as a bitter 60-year-old man saying it. And it's taken as a fact. Opinions on podcasts aren't facts. My opinion on my podcast is not a fact. But when someone says that the rules were changed, you're referring to a specific event, and there should be evidence to be found to support something like that. So we're not talking about opinions anymore. So the NBA rulebook should have a change in it that you can go and find. There should be a point in time where you can go and say, oh, here is when the wording said this, and then they changed the wording a little bit regarding how fouls are going to be called. That doesn't exist. Now, I'm sure LeBron fans will say, well, they just helped Jordan specifically. They didn't actually change the rule in the book. But the problem with that is that many LeBron people actually say that how fouls were called across the entire league changed based on Michael Jordan, as if it was like the Michael Jordan, let's change the foul rules. But everyone used to foul, and then it had to stop because of Jordan, according to them. And the reality to me is that the league was allowing Jordan to take exceptional abuse, maybe even more fouls than other people. And I guess they finally realized maybe it's not a good idea to let the bad boys demolish the future of the NBA by crippling this guy. But final thought on that, and then I'm going to let you go and we'll get to the other points. Did the Pistons actually stop? Because I'm thinking, from my recollection, it's not like they quit fouling him. It's just that the Bulls were able to withstand the roughness. And, maybe he went to the free throw line on these fouls, but they didn't stop trying to intimidate him or anything. What do you think?
Yo, man, let me just start off by saying, once again, I am honored to be here with my man AOH, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat that's already in there, man. Yo, shout out to everybody that's been supporting my channel. I just went over 10,000 subscribers literally like 30 minutes ago, an hour ago, whatever the case may be. So shout out to everybody that's been supporting Sports and Fitness Rants, that's been supporting my man Angry Old Hoops, man. Like I said, it's a pleasure once again to be here with you. And yes, man, listen, you hit it right on the head, man, when you talked about these things as it relates to the Detroit Pistons and the Chicago Bulls and the fouls, man. And you're talking about, what you said was really good when you talked about how they were letting Michael Jordan actually get beat up out there. You're running the money with that, because really that's what I was talking about in that video, man. Because people try to make it seem as if Michael Jordan was getting all these foul calls and the Bulls were getting all these foul calls and the Pistons weren't allowed to play their certain style of basketball. No, it's actually the contrary. That was the problem. The problem was the Pistons were allowed to play that style of basketball. They were allowed to clothesline Larry Bird. They were allowed to do all these kinds of dirty plays against some of the primetime players of the NBA. So, like you said, what is the NBA doing, letting the primetime players get hurt? Not with hard-nosed physical basketball, which we all appreciate and love, but with dirty tactics. After the whistle plays, how often did we see Michael Jordan getting hit after whistle, Scottie Pippen getting hit after whistle, some of the other Bulls players getting hit after the whistle? How many times do you see Michael Jordan get his ankle grabbed or some other tactic, clothesline in midair? Is that basketball? Is that hard-nosed defense? No, that's not. So once again, when we talk about, and you said before, Isaiah Thomas and the credibility or lack of for Isaiah Thomas, he has zero credibility as it relates to anything Michael Jordan related. As far as I'm concerned, anytime he's talking about Michael Jordan, he's lying about Michael Jordan because he hasn't kept his integrity about Michael Jordan. I posted several videos and clips of Isaiah Thomas trashing Scottie Pippen as if he's nobody. And then you'll see now, all of a sudden, Isaiah Thomas wants to try to tell you that Scottie Pippen's a greater defensive player than Michael Jordan was. It's absolutely laughable for him to even say that and really believe that. And those are the kinds of things that I'm telling you when I tell you that he has no integrity. There's no way you can say that. So when you're talking about all those fouls, you're running the money as it relates to Michael Jordan allowing him to take the punishment for all those years.
You know, it's not just us coming up with this. I used a lot of clips from the Bad Boys documentary in the videos that I made when I debunked this. It's coming out of their own mouths. They're saying, hey, we didn't quite have the skill, but we adopted the Raiders of the NBA image. We were the blue collar guys, which I guess means cheating is cool. But they the documentary basically says the only way we could get it done was to be rough. We weren't going to win purely on basketball. And people are going to turn around and act like, oh, things changed for Jordan. No, they just gave you the timeline. We're going to be rougher than is allowed. The NBA is going to kind of say, okay, this is kind of a cool story. We're going to allow these guys to act like this. And then finally realize, wait a minute, this has probably gone too far.
Yo, listen, when you talk about those things, these guys literally came out and said we were physically trying to hurt Michael Jordan on the court. When have you ever heard someone literally say that? And they're not saying that with shame. They're saying that braggadociously. They're saying that with pride. We were trying to hurt Michael Jordan, man. But at the same time, what they did was they built up Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. And what's crazy? A lot of times you'll hear the Detroit Pistons, they'll try to take credit for Michael Jordan and the Bulls' success, but at the same time, it's like a backhanded compliment to Michael Jordan and the Bulls' success by walking off the court early. Because what you were trying to show is that they didn't deserve it. They didn't earn it. And they, in fact, did earn it. They took all the beatings, all the tactics, and Michael Jordan just kept coming back. He didn't cry and moan and ask for all these trades or ask to go to another team or say, I can't do with this guy or I can't beat the Pistons this way. He kept coming back, man. And that's the one thing that we always appreciate and respected about Michael Jordan, man. So you're right on the money when you talk about these things as it relates to the Detroit Pistons and the way that they were able to play and how that, like I said, enhanced. Listen, steel sharpens steel. Michael Jordan coming into the fire like that early in the career. We talk about the losses. People act like the losses are negative on Michael Jordan's career. Those losses are not a negative. The losses to the Milwaukee Bucks or the Boston Celtics of the mid to the late 80s, the Detroit Pistons, those are not bad or blemishes on Michael Jordan's career. They're trying to paint it now, rewriting the history as those are negatives on Michael Jordan's career, when in fact, those are the years that made Michael Jordan the champion in the 90s. He was the one going through the fire, man, more so than anyone else. He was the one, him and the Chicago Bulls, leapfrogging a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers in the late 80s, man. Just off of one shot, that changed the history, the trajectory of a franchise, man. 1989, man. All of a sudden now, the Chicago Bulls are the next team up, in fact, man. And Michael Jordan had to go through a lot of those physical fouls, and he kept coming back.
It's good for the fans, too, to have somebody have to go through that because you're part of the journey. As the fans, you're like watching this, and if let's say that you were a Bulls fan and every year that they get closer, it's painful that it doesn't quite happen, and then the glorious taste of victory when it finally does happen. That's why I don't like the comparison to LeBron James's career. You can't compare it. Even if LeBron James was as great as people say, it's a different trajectory. He didn't choose to continue to persevere through that path. He said, oh, well, here's the obvious way to get through an already easy East and team up with the top players in the East. Man, it's just not the same path. Even if you want to make excuses for, oh, that was fine, there's nothing wrong with forming those sorts of teams, it's not a comparable path. And that fire that the Bulls, not just Jordan, but the Bulls went through, made it that much greater of a story to be a part of and to watch.
Yo, absolutely. We're talking about these whole things, man. Once again, we can't stress this enough that the Detroit Pistons, I have a lot of respect for the Detroit Pistons. This is not no knock on them or Isaiah Thomas, the basketball player and what they accomplished, on the basketball court. What I'm talking about is the bitterness, the envy, and once again, not allowing Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls that respect, not allowing them that moment in the 1991 Eastern Conference Finals, man. That was a dirtbag move by Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons, no matter how people want to slice it. You think about the beatings, like we talked about, that Michael Jordan was taking. How much video footage, man? You're the video footage king, man, AOH, man. You know everything. How much video footage we have of Michael Jordan getting clearly fouled? There's no fouls called. None. And just Michael Jordan stand there on one side of the court with his hands on his hips and just stand there and let his team play 4-on-5? No, what does Michael Jordan do? He proceeds to hustle back on defense, man. This is what he does. These are the things that we talk about, and the Detroit Pistons are a big reason for this. Michael Jordan understanding what it meant to be a champion. That's why in 1991, when he finally won, it meant that much more. Not only did you beat the Detroit Pistons, you also beat Magic Johnson en route to your first championship. That's why the man, I mean, I've talked about this on my channel. Look at the reaction between LeBron James and his first NBA championship that he won, and the reaction of Michael Jordan and his first championship when he won. It's a completely different reaction. A completely different reaction. Michael Jordan's reaction is one of accomplishment, of going through that grind, of, oh my goodness, man, we finally broke through after all the battles, all the hard work, all those practices that the said. 1909, in 91 and 92. He said Michael Jordan saw Michael Jordan lose a sprint. And he was on the sounds. He never saw him lose a suicide sprint. And he said that Horace Grant, the Young Dogs, were coming after Michael Jordan on those suicides, and he never allowed them to beat him, man. That's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, the fact that he could win those sprints reminds me of something. I've been watching some of the older games, and his speed and quickness are different. They're not the same thing. And if you have both, you're deadly. Man, that guy hit that first step and that explosion to get to the rim was crazy. And of course people fouled him. You would foul him on accident because he's so damn fast. You're like, oh shit. So, which is going to bring me to another fantastic point that you made in your video this morning when you showed the free throw disparity for Jordan versus with LeBron. And if in fact what people are saying was true, then less fouls should have been called on Jordan, and he should have been going to the free throw line more often. And in fact, that's not what happened. What did you say? It was his third season was the last time that he led the league in free throws?
Yeah, I believe it was either 87 or 88, the last time that Michael Jordan led the league in free throw attempts. And like I said, man, the rumor has it that they were complaining about the young Michael Jordan taking over the league, coming in, getting all these free throws, all these foul calls, all this shine. And all of a sudden, Michael Jordan never once again led the league in free throw attempts for the rest of his career. None of these things ever happened, man. And this is not to say that Michael Jordan did not get the fouls called against him in that video. What I was highlighting was, once again, Michael Jordan got the treatment like all the other superstar players in the league. As a matter of fact, Karl Malone probably led the league in free throw attempts probably almost every year in the 90s. Karl Malone. And why was that? Because of where Karl Malone played in the game, right? The way that Karl Malone played the game, down low, the physical nature of the NBA at that time. Once again, Michael Jordan, earning these fouls? Like we said, there are many times Michael Jordan didn't get fouled and many times that Michael Jordan did get fouled. But he never led the league in free throw attempts again. This wasn't James Harden flopping around for free throw attempts in the late 2010s. No, once again, this is Michael Jordan in the Air Jordan display. Michael Jordan attacking the rim. Once again, this is the era of the NBA. He earning these foul calls, getting hit. And once again, how many times Michael Jordan didn't get hit?
Let's say just hypothetically, so that we can continue with the idea that Jordan was getting preferential treatment the year that he led the league going to free throws, and people complained about it. If we're going to believe that that was true, and then his free throws go down the way that they went the next year, imagine how the league responded to people not liking him getting preferential treatment. Now let's fast forward to LeBron James. And when he was already getting preferential treatment with the free throws, the huge gap with the free throws for the Lakers. And then he had that crazy, crazy tantrum. It's already like 2 years ago in that Celtics game, and complained to the league. And you know what the league did? Oh, okay, we'll give you even more. And they did. The disparity grew. They responded to somebody complaining like a child with a reward. Just how different that is as a league, as a time, as a society compared to back then where, oh, hey, this guy's getting too many free throws. Let's fuck that up for him. It's so different than how they cater to these stars nowadays. And have you ever seen? I want to see a picture of the worst foul that LeBron James has taken compared to these photos and these video clips that I see of Jordan. I mean, I see some things that make me cringe. And what is he?
Listen,
Nearly, what is he, like 100 pounds less than? I mean, maybe not 100, but like 100 pounds less than LeBron taking harder hits.
yo, listen, this is the thing, man, we're talking about. This is what makes LeBron James so unlikable, man. You have to understand, like you just hit it on the head. The teams, when I was looking at these things, man, and you talk about all the free throw attempts that LeBron James teams, not just LeBron James, his teams. So once again, it spreads out to his team. So you see, like you see now, what all his teammates flopping around. But when you look at these numbers, man, these are the things that I'm talking about, man. LeBron James and how he affects the NBA and he affects these teams and affects the goals. But what makes him unlikable about it, like you said, he complains about it as if he's not getting foul calls, as if the Lakers are on the bottom of the league. They never get any fouls. When you look at the numbers, man, across the board, man, the LeBron James teams, like I said, from about 2011 all the way to now, they were always plus 200, plus 300, plus whatever they were. And most of the time during these seasons, man. And they were always right around the tops in free throws attempted. But when there's free throws against, they were at the bottom. If you think about Michael Jordan, I believe in the 6 finals that Michael Jordan played in, I believe he only shot the most free throws in 2 of them. I believe Magic Johnson shot more in 91. I believe Clyde Drexler shot more in 92. I believe Charles Barkley shot more in 93. I believe Michael Jordan shot more in 96. And I believe in 98, he might have shot more than Karl Malone. I know Karl Malone shot more, I think, in 97. So what are we really talking about here? Is Michael Jordan getting all these free throws, all these foul calls, all this treatment? No, tree just man. The NBA's history. LeBron James seems different that players or love than all 37. Crazy. It's
Let's just talk about the way that they respond to the fouls. You know, when people say that Jordan complained to the league and that he was a crybaby, I always say, please put together your reel of Michael Jordan crying. You know, I mean, I'm sure the frustration got to him sometimes and he had some reactions, but I haven't seen anything that even comes to the bottom of a scale of measurement to how LeBron James complains about phantom fouls. And you know, I'm watching Michael Jordan get hit hard, and he might turn around with like a mean look on his face, but then it's over with. There's no carrying on or screaming at the refs. I mean, it looked like LeBron James was going to assault the referees multiple times this season. And the screaming and the cussing in their faces, please show me Michael Jordan doing that. Come on. You guys want to build arguments based on fantasy. At least have some evidence. If anything, I'm more impressed than ever. You guys with your narratives have forced me to go back and realize how well he composed himself considering what was happening.
absolutely that's the professionalism of Michael Jordan. That's a competitor in Michael Jordan. Oftentimes you see Michael Jordan on the basketball court. Let's say he gets stripped of the ball, he gets, forced into a bad shot, whatever the case may be, someone blocks his shot, whatever the case is. You'll often see Michael Jordan hustle back on the defensive end, trying to make up for it on the other end, get back on defense, like you said. Yes, is Michael Jordan perfect? No. Did he argue calls? Absolutely, man. Every great player's argued calls in the history of the game, man. When Michael Jordan argued his calls, he did it when? In dead ball scenarios. How? I just talked about this. How often would you see LeBron James in the middle of a play sit there and argue with the referee while the play's actually going on? Just standing there waiting for, and then what he'll do, he'll cherry pick a dunk on the other end if the team misses on the other end. And he'll be all proud of himself. He'll start flexing. And this is why you come across as corny and as lame. And once again, as a fool, as a goof, because you do these kinds of things and then you want people to respect you because you didn't hustle back on defense. No, we respect the guys that hustle, that give the effort, man. And like you said, Michael Jordan would often take beatings, get hit in the face, but that was the nature of the game. So he didn't stop in the middle of the play to sulk about it. We saw that play with LeBron James. He got grazed on the top of his head. This man took about 5 minutes to let the game carry on. A solid 5 minutes in real world time. Just holding on to his head, holding on to, no one even hit him. How many replays, AOH, have you put out there for the world to see? And this LeBron James on an instant replay, slow motion, he flails into the air. There's no one in sight, no one around this man. Michael Jordan never approached the game that way. Any foul calls that he may have gotten or may have been perceived as help, he earned those. They were actually fouling this man more likely than not. He wasn't flopping.
I don't I don't understand what he's doing. I called him Crackhead Bob. I was so confused. If he got hit hard, I would be embarrassed of him. I don't understand how LeBron fans don't just finally be like, oh, okay, well, today was too much. I finally can't back this up anymore. I'm trying to figure out how to let people call in. Let me put in a link here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yo, call in if anybody got something to say, man. Call in, ask about anything. It don't even matter. It don't have to be on this topic. It could be about anything. We could talk about the USA basketball. That all of a sudden these guys are starting to drop like flies already in USA basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
we talk about all kinds of stuff.
Are we going to? That's a whole nother one. I don't know if we should even start talking about the defense of the USA basketball. I saw that Nick Wright was talking trash about the '92 Dream Team. Is that just to defend the current Dream Team? Once again, they got to go and shit on people from the past to make themselves feel better about the present. I mean, it's so despicable.
Yeah, I told you, man. I did a video on it earlier today, and like I said, it's just because once again, everyone wants to talk about how great and greater than the original Dream Team and all this stuff. It's just crazy, man. Like you said, that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day.
What do I got there? I heard something.
Yeah, I have no idea how to do any of this stuff. I'm on my phone. I don't know what I'm doing. I see people in the chat. That's about it, man. I see some people telling me to get a wrench to get, some people the ability to monitor the chat, I guess, or whatever. But it's all right. We can have the weirdos in here. If they want to, the LeBron James fans in here. Tell the LeBron James fans to call up. Call the chat up, man. Call the mic. Call up, man. Talk to us. Let us know what you're thinking. Don't be shy.
I thought this would be easy. I don't see them. Where are they? Where are the people at?
There's got to be maybe like a you
I got
consulted with Dart.
I see a Gary. Gary, can you hear me? I'm gonna let Gary in real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Compose yourself, Gary. We had some nasty people Sunday.
Hey, all what's up, y'all?
Gary,
yo, what's up, man?
Salute. What up?
What do you want to chime in on with Sports' great rant this morning?
Just to, continue to support you guys and your efforts, all the hard work you do. I know it's not easy. I love your energy, sports and fitness rants, your dedication as well. AOH, I'm out here in the Bay, enjoying some sun on break.
Where are you at?
Emeryville. Yeah.
You got to stay close to the water these days. It's painful. Inland.
Yeah.
Hey, man, thanks for calling in and thanks for your support.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yo,
also,
thanks a lot,
Sports and
man.
Fitness
Appreciate
Rants.
you calling in, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
let me let Wayne in really quick. Wayne, you still there?
I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Wayne, you are on.
All right. I just want to say respect to y'all. You know what I mean? I've been paying attention to y'all show for a minute now. And I'm out of Cleveland. I'm a Jamaican that lives in Cleveland. But I just want to say I appreciate everything that y'all been saying and highlighting everything that this fraud has been doing. It's really refreshing. You know what I mean? Because he has a real strong hold on the media. We need people like y'all to point out the bullshit. And I would just want to say keep on doing the good job, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'll always be here. Yeah.
Thank you. Let me ask you a question. Were you aware that Jordan never led the league in free throws again after that season that Sports and Fitness Rants mentioned? I didn't even know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Pretty crazy.
You see, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I learned by watching y'all's show. Because honestly, when I moved here from America, I was a LeBron James fan. because I moved here and I came to Cleveland, and he was the biggest thing around, So I thought when I be honest, I just became a LeBron fan because for me to support, I didn't Browns or nothing like that. I'm not, I when I moved to Miami, I kind of frowned at him because I liked him so much, and the more I just see him, his character, I realized that this guy is a piece of shit. Even when he came back to Cleveland, I hated him. I'm like, why are you coming back? All you're gonna do is just destroy us and he did.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys are pointing out all of his flaws, man, because it's needed, because everybody just cover it up,
Thank you,
Yo,
Wayne.
man,
Thanks.
much respect to you. I really appreciate your support and what you said, man. You're right on the money, because what you're doing is you're holding LeBron James to a standard. You're holding him accountable for his actions, the way that he goes about his business. And for some reason, a lot of the LeBron James fans, they don't seem to understand or really want to come to terms with the lack of accountability of LeBron James. And they don't want to hold him to that standard. So much respect to you, man. Shout out to everybody over there in Cleveland, where you're from, man. Thank you very much for the support.
We got a few more.
Respect, man.
Thanks again, Wayne. We got a few more callers. Let's go on to another one. I want to say something about what Wayne said. He said it was refreshing to find channels like yours. Our channels exist because we were tired of everything out there repeating the lies. People want to complain that we are on here talking about LeBron. Well, we exist to counter the narratives that are all over the place. If you want to complain, why don't you complain that every single sports journalist out there is saying the same crap and doesn't have the balls to even take the stance that we have? I mean, somebody out there somewhere must see what we're seeing on the professional level, but no, none of them have the balls to come out here and say it. And we get frustrated, and that's why these channels exist. I see a long-time channel member, Rob Lane. I better let Rob in here. Rob Lane.
Hey guys, how you doing, man? Nice to meet you guys both. Finally.
Yo,
Control
what's
yourself.
up, man?
Behave yourself in here.
Hey, I'm well behaved. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna let I'm gonna let Steam Engine too. We'll have 4 people on here at once.
Okay, cool. Hey,
Rob, did you have a specific response to anything?
No, well, a couple things. Like, obviously, don't you think YouTube, Google, they obviously block you? I mean, we've been all screaming this stuff forever, and it's just now finally I saw like you. I was like, what? Someone is allowed on YouTube that says this stuff, because they block us from all this stuff. It's not the fact that all of us aren't saying this. We've been saying it for years. No one's been allowed to do it. I think it's because LeBron's on the end of his career, is my guess.
Yeah, fatigue. People finally were like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been saying this stuff for a very long time. I've been on YouTube.
Yeah.
I can't even believe it. I've been on here for 5 years. But before that, I was just complaining on Facebook like people used to, like all the way back in the Miami days. And those chats just disappear into the void. So I was like, well, why don't I make some actual documented history about this stuff, which is why I'm YouTubing.
Yeah. But, I mean, if YouTube allowed your views to be viewed, if they allowed your thumbs up to be click thumbs up, you would have 1 million viewers. It'd be easy. I guarantee you. I had my own channel. They blocked me because I didn't put garbage in the ocean and say that everything's a problem. You'd be surprised. Everyone's saying, you know this, everyone's saying what we're saying, just no one's allowed to say it.
Rob, I appreciate your support. I know you've been there for a long time, and thank you for calling in.
Yo, much respect to you, man. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks, Robin.
Speem, did you have anything specific from earlier? Were you listening in? Did you want to add? Because I know that you have some stats from the old days.
So funny story. I had 2 windows open at the same time, and I thought it was an issue on your end, but it was me. So I have no idea what you've been saying for like the last 10 minutes. It's all been like mushed together.
All right, putting you back in the mute zone. Bringing those LeBron excuses. Hey, let's let Jay Cool in. Jay Cool's waiting. Jay Cool, you are on.
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
What up?
Hey, congrats on the 10K, sports. That's
Yeah,
good
man, I
stuff
didn't
right
know
there,
that
man.
either.
Yo, thank you much. Thank
Much respect from New York. I'm a G, you
you.
know what I'm
Yes, yes.
saying? The championship. Yeah. I just want to come here, this whole circus with trying, discredit Jordan with the defensive player, just everything that surrounds LeBron is just so, it's so toxic. And I had to come. Oh, hear me?
I see you. We lost.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Yeah, just everything surrounding LeBron is just so toxic. Me personally, I don't have him in my top 10. Um, and I've been on record saying that I do have a YouTube channel. And salute to you, AOH, because I did use one of your clips. Um, as far as what
Good.
was it, LeBron? He was like getting an assist when he passed the ball to Anthony Davis. So I did
Yeah.
use that in in one of my videos. So I just wanted to give you props on that. And
Oh,
send much
sure.
respect to you. Yeah, yeah. I had to come in here and say that, because you probably didn't know. But
There's there's so many
yes,
examples. I could do an hour-long video of bullshit stats, and I don't even have to look for any specific games. It's crazy when they go and try and dig up something from Jordan's past and come up with the weak ass shit that dude from Yahoo Sports or whatever put out. I'm like, dude, I can come up with way worse than that in one goddamn game of LeBron James.
but honestly, that's not even the point. See, the thing is, right? So if stats are inflated, then we have to say that for everybody. So to me, it all comes back to winning. How did you win? What did you win in your era? That's what it all comes back to, because stats can be manipulated, but winning cannot be manipulated.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
people
my
ever get tired of hearing why he didn't win? Isn't it more fun to hear the story about the guy who did win?
It's not fun.
Yeah,
Why would you want to hear about
exactly.
winning
Right. It
when you can hear
absolutely. It's
about
all about the winning. That's why I was
family
saying,
drama?
man. Michael Jordan is more than the stats. The stats mean nothing as it pertains to Michael Jordan and what he did on the basketball court, man. His defensive abilities had nothing to do with the steals or the blocks. It had to do with the effort that he gave, his abilities. Once again, all these things that he did, man. There was a reason he was motivated by the lack of recognition he was getting on the defensive end, Michael Jordan, man. So not only was Michael Jordan have all these things, he was also motivated to be known and getting recognized for his defensive abilities, man. So once again, Michael Jordan is way more than the numbers.
Exactly. I 1000% agree. I mean, you can
Those
look at all the numbers you want, but in terms of context of winning, that's really what matters.
Michael Jordan's basically a way of life. I mean, if you really think about it, he's an entire movement by himself. I mean,
those
I don't think there's any arguing that. You can't say that. There's other than Tom Brady, I don't think there's very many athletes that you can say are
Yeah.
an entire almost culture of
Yep.
just winning things.
Those of you who are just joining, because there's a lot more viewers than when we started, the point of today was I felt like responding to Sports and Fitness's rant this morning because I made some videos about the Knicks and the Pistons and Jordan going through them and the enjoyment of watching the trial by fire, and then the idea that everything changed for Jordan because the league helped him get past these things. And, I asked, give me the specific date and time that the rule was changed and show me in the rule book when the rule was changed. Um, versus what I perceive it was the league allowing their star to get hammered and him continuing to keep playing. And I don't know if you answered this, Robin, but I said, when in the year that the Bulls got past the Pistons, had the Pistons stopped fouling? Like, I don't think they stopped doing what they do. I just think the Bulls won anyway.
That's right. As a matter of fact, Dennis Rodman was the Defensive Player of the Year award for the second straight season. The Pistons were one of the top defensive teams that year. Listen, there was a reason why the Detroit Pistons were in the Eastern Conference Finals for what, the fifth straight season? Are you kidding me right now? There's a reason for that. I remember, man, listen, man, I remember a lot of things. I remember going into that season in 1991. Dennis Rodman had shaved three-peat in the back of his hair. Three-peat. Everyone thought the Pistons were going to win the championship again because no one thought the Bulls were going to be able to get by them mentally. It's the same thing going into the finals in 1991. A lot of people were picking the Los Angeles Lakers to beat the Bulls based off of the experience and the savviness of Magic Johnson, James Worthy, AC Green, Byron Scott. They were picking the Lakers to beat the Bulls based off experience alone, the championship pedigree of Magic Johnson. Not to mention, when people say Magic Johnson was old, the man was coming fresh off of back-to-back MVP wins. 3 MVPs in 4 seasons for Magic Johnson and the runner-up in 1991. That doesn't sound like somebody that's old or someone who's washed up. That sounds like someone to me who is still getting the job done.
Exactly. Hey, I've been dropping the link in the chat for anyone else who wants to call in and say their piece. So take a look
Where's
at
the
that.
LeBron fans at? That's what I'm
Yo, when they
waiting on.
talking about these rule changes and this help from Michael Jordan, we can easily point to the video footage. Once again, my man AOH, the legend with the video footage. You can easily point to the video footage and see how often they never call LeBron James for carrying the basketball or traveling with the basketball. How often do you see LeBron James travel on the basketball court, take a jump shot, and those 2 points count in his overall career statistics? They counted, but the video footage shows you that he traveled. They don't call LeBron James for the offensive fouls when he goes down the lane. Meanwhile, I saw multiple games, many times, Michael Jordan getting called for travels, getting called for carrying the basketball, Michael Jordan being called for offensive fouls. They officiated Michael Jordan just like they officiated the game overall much more stricter in the 90s, guys, and even in the early 2000s than they did in the 2010s and beyond, man.
I'm glad you mentioned that because the other part of that
Okay,
series, the other part of that series I did, it wasn't just about the fouling. The other thing that they always say is that Jordan got away with his traveling. So I went back and I looked up some of that footage, and I was actually surprised at how tightly they called. You know, if I'm sure Jordan traveled, people traveled, but you're talking about a stutter step or his foot hitting the ground before the ball did on the first step to the hoop. LeBron James he's 3 steps past the legal point by the time the whistle blows, and it doesn't even blow then. Don't compare LeBron's traveling to Jordan getting away with things. It's a ridiculous comparison.
AOH, if you look at the in the highlights of the USA team practice, he's carrying. He goes to the post, carries the ball in a practice, and it's a highlight on ESPN.
Well, the international referees are not going to allow that, right? Supposedly.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see if they have Nikes on.
Jay Cool.
For LeBron.
Yeah.
You want to thank you for calling in. If you don't have anything else, I'm going to let some other people wait and come on.
Yeah. Can I say one last thing?
Sure.
So, I look at you guys. You guys have a lot more basketball knowledge than me. I'm a little bit too young. I'm only 29, so I don't have a lot of basketball experience. I can only go by some of the things that I see, some of the things that I hear. So you guys are like certified OGs in the game that have been there, seen a lot of stuff. I wanted to speak on the whole Detroit thing. That Bad Boys documentary, they were a dirty team, and they really pushed Jordan to the brink of being physically hurt, where he's gonna have a career-ending injury. So that, and as much as I like Zeke from that doc, that team was a dirty team. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So salute to you, AOH, Steam, Sports and Fitness. Once again, congrats on the 10K, well deserved. I'm out of here.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Yo,
you.
thanks a lot, man.
Hey, he didn't congratulate me on my 30th follower.
Oh, hey, nice.
Yeah.
So the chat room is full backstage. So for those of you who are trying to get on, that's the reason why. So let's get some more of these callers going. We've got Niall next. Niall, you're on.
Hello, respect, guys.
Hello.
And
What up?
sports and fitness. You inspired me to get back out there and do it. So much respect to you. HOH, you're doing God's work. And
All right.
I'll get in touch with the other 2 guys after this. But I just wanted to shout out you guys to give you appreciation for what you guys are doing. The truth. The truth.
Sports and fitness got you exercising again? He got you
Yes,
on
sir. Yes, sir, he did.
Fantastic.
Yo, man, listen, that means a lot, man. I'll be honest with you guys, man. The fitness aspect of my channel, which is the smaller aspect, obviously, of my channel, is really the part of my channel that means the most to me, man. Getting people out there and, like I said, living the active lifestyle, making the smart nutritional choices, and remembering that it's never about, being perfect, but about being consistent. Never about what you look like in the mirror, but more importantly about how you feel. So thank you very much for saying that I've inspired you in any aspect of your life. It really means a lot. It's truly, truly humbling. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and if they're gonna bring up these stats, we gotta bring up LeBron's inflated assist stats and rebounding stats and the turnover stats. That's all I gotta say. Thank you guys again.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks for calling
thank you.
in.
Yo,
We have
listen.
You see how
a
he's
long
polite?
name.
He's like AOH and Sports Defenders, and yeah, what? He was polite about it though.
Yo, listen, man, you the rookie of the year right
I'm
now,
a
man. You know
rookie.
what I'm saying?
I gotta get in there. I gotta get in there. You gotta tag me in.
You know what I'm saying? You start
SMT
from somewhere.
SMT Sneed Mobile Tech.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Welcome.
Yo, what up?
Hey, thanks for having me. You said you just wanted a LeBron fan to come on, so that's why I'm here. I'm the LeBron
Oh shit.
Nice.
fan.
He sounds
Yeah, so-
reasonable.
So I'm from Cleveland. He won a chip here, so I have to give him some respect for that. We haven't had a championship here in like 70 years. So between him, Kyrie, those big moments in those finals, I think some of you guys are tough on him, but he does certain things where he deserves it. I think some of that narrative stuff that they do in the media is kind of annoying because it's not basketball. So if we could sit there and have conversations about hoops, there's plenty we can critique about LeBron, and I'm a fan. I think he failed to improve his free throw shooting over the course of his career. I think he became turnover prone through certain stretches of his career, and everybody made excuses because it was just him and nobody else or whatever. But that doesn't warrant the fact that you got to turn the ball over 4 times a game for an average, with certain games having 5 and 6 turnovers. So I've always been critical of LeBron. In fact, I look back at the 07 team. That team was top 3 in defense. That team was top 3 in three-point shooting. That team was top 5 in rebounding. And people say things like he didn't have enough talent. The truth is he wasn't good enough yet. He was good enough in Miami, therefore they won 2 chips. He wasn't good enough the first go in Cleveland. And that's why he lost some of those games against those good teams when they packed in the paint. He wasn't an effective shooter consistently, and it hurt his game.
You know, what's
and he had
wrong
some.
with saying that?
There's nothing wrong with saying it. He's one of my
Exactly,
favorite players of all time. He's one of my favorite athletes of all time. But I have to evaluate his career based on how things have played out. And the worst thing about his career, in my opinion, is how it's ending. This whole drawn out thing where like 1 more year, 2 more years, all this, it's kind of nonsense. When he decided to make the move to the Lakers, I already knew what time it was. It was going to be chicanery and tomfoolery. It wasn't about winning. Now, he did get Anthony Davis to go there, which actually puts them in contention to compete. But 2 players is not enough in this league. You got too many skilled players out there. You got too many good GMs making trades. Guys are looking to move around and find good spots to land. And now with what's going on with like Bronny getting drafted and all this, it's not basketball anymore.
How would you feel if this was happening in Cleveland?
It did happen like this in Cleveland. What you mean?
Well,
It
he
happened
did.
like
He had
this.
the short contracts. He kind of kept you guys
Yes.
like wondering what he was going to do. But I would say LA is even worse. I mean,
so check this out, right? He trades away Andrew Wiggins to bring in Kevin Love. We get 1 chip out of that. 1 chip.
Real quick, do you think that was a bad trade?
No, I'm just saying the way that it played out. I don't have like good trade, bad trade. We got 1 chip. Cleveland hasn't had a chip in 70 years, so we'll call it a good trade. What am I supposed to say? I just have to look at the outcome. LeBron gets 1 chip in that stint. The Warriors kind of kicked his ass for half the decade, actually, if we're going to be objective about it.
Wait, so hold on. Let me ask you a quick question then. Where do you have LeBron James ranked?
He's a top 10 player of all time.
All right.
That's where I got him.
You said some pretty spot on things here as it relates to LeBron James and his lack of overall development and things of that nature. So if you had to put your finger on a number, would you say that LeBron James is right behind Michael Jordan?
He's well behind Michael Jordan.
All right. See, so what we're saying here, this is the thing on my channel, man, and this is what I talk about, man. The things that I stand on, right? The values that I hold dearly to me. To me, LeBron James doesn't exhibit these things. So this is why I can't get behind him and I won't put him in a top 10 ranking, so to speak, let's say. I never even thought about a top 10 rankings up until I started doing this YouTube stuff, because to me, it was always Michael Jordan and really everyone else. And when I say everyone else, I'm not saying that Michael Jordan is way farther greater than everyone. To me, I haven't heard an argument against Michael Jordan in favor of another player. I haven't heard a solid argument against Michael Jordan. There's no one that has one. I want to shout out to my man Will Chamberlain Archive. I see he's in the chat out there. Much respect to him. But I really respect you coming out here and saying those things about LeBron James, because once again, like I said, these are the things that we're talking about. But to me, if you're a LeBron James fan, you have to also come to terms with the reality of LeBron James walking off the court early, LeBron James standing around on defense, not really putting forth the effort. Like I said, LeBron James really never taking the accountability of an all-time great player, of a leader, of a superstar, of a guy that's getting paid all that money. So these are the kinds of things that bother me, because that goes to his overall lack of success on the court. That's why he only won 2 championships in Miami. He won 2, but he only won 2. Let's not forget that, because he was talking about winning 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Can I step in here, sports and fitness?
Absolutely.
I think when I look back at the Miami team and the construct, Dwayne Wade, who was top 3 in the NBA, Chris Bosh, who was a starting all-star on the Eastern Conference team perennially every year.
Every year.
He teams up with these guys. They bring in the niche guys to do some of the dirty work, right? So you got like a Shane Battier, you got Ray Allen, you got all these roles that were fulfilled. And the one thing I never would have thought in a million years he would have said in that stupid comment about the role players weren't good enough, that was the dumbest shit I ever heard. So like, this is, and now it's all going to come together. LeBron has said things that have made people have like extreme venom for him. It's the things that he says, because everybody can live with the results on the court, but when these mics are on, he says and does the stupidest things, and it gets people charged up and amped up against him, and he doesn't like that role, which is weird. You talk too much, your mouth runs like hot water, and then you're mad about how people respond to it. But if we're going to just evaluate the game, it's a different story. He did great things on the court. He has great accomplishments as a player. In my opinion, he underachieved in Miami based on all that talent. And we're going to look back at Eric Spoelstra and say Hall of Fame coach, no doubt. And you're going to talk about all these guys. They should have won every year. They should not have lost to Dallas. They should not have lost to the Spurs. The Spurs were old, and the role players were lesser than what Miami had. None of it made any sense. And you know what? And I want to say one more thing about Dwayne Wade. He made a huge mistake.
Oh, yeah.
Dwayne Wade giving up his prime years to be overshadowed by LeBron when Dwayne Wade was doing all the winning. He had just kicked everybody's ass the year before, or I should say back in 2006. He was, I mean, what was the argument? It was Kobe, LeBron, and Dwayne Wade. That was it. It was those 3 guys. So I never agreed with that. And you know what? Dwayne Wade's a weird dude, but he really loved LeBron. And I think he did that because he loved LeBron. I don't know. Didn't make any sense. Who would sacrifice half of their prime to let LeBron be the guy? It doesn't make any sense.
SMT, you've been a great caller. And if you want to stick on, we'll let you back in, or you can call back in. I want to give a couple of other people a chance, but always good to have a Cleveland native's perspective on this.
Can I put this question in his ear just in case he comes back?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's your opinion on the bubble ring?
It's a championship. What can we do?
Ooh.
They played. They have played. I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Okay, no. That's fair. I'm really big on context. I'm seeing a lot in the comments about, LeBron averaging 43 in this and 50 teams in this, and contextually. And I know AOH is going to get shot here.
AD was the best player. AD was still the best player across all those years.
They were playing shit teams his entire stint in Cleveland.
Yeah.
SMT, I do appreciate it. Thank you for calling in.
Come back. A lot, man.
Come back. Just to be polite, I'm going to quickly move on to the next caller, and it looks, I don't know, is this Russian? I'm not going to try to pronounce it. What?
No, not Russian.
Christoph.
I'm American. Anything that looks different, I'm just going to call it.
No, Polish.
Polish. Okay, so
Yeah.
at least you're at least bordering. At least it's over there.
Yeah, close. Not close.
It's overseas.
It's
man.
the eastern edge of Europe.
Yeah. You were close.
For an American, I was spot on.
Definitely.
What do you got to
so-
say?
I started listening you not long time ago, to be honest, but I live in UK. And just yesterday, I had chat on a basketball group on a WhatsApp. Oh my God, you can't talk to the people. You can't. They just coming out with Scottie Pippen, Plumbers era, 90s, all those things, and I'm the only one who talk to them. I said, you don't tell me what was in 90s. You don't know what happened there. Tell me why LeBron is better. They have no argument, not even one.
Of course they don't.
Just not even one. It's just, I've been removed from group chats. It's just make funny thing. They are so attached to him. It's it's like religious. It's
They
like a
call you a
religion.
hater, and then they attack your sexuality, whatever it is, or your race, and then they boot you. That's like
Yeah, I'm white, so I have to be careful because they try to tell me that I'm
You're hating on a black
things.
man, obviously.
well, like AOH said, we're Americans, so if you're foreign, the majority of us will just call you a terrorist or something offensive.
It's crazy.
We don't call Polish people terrorists.
No, uneducated ass Americans do. They don't know anybody.
Okay, you know what? I'm in California. I don't know what the rest. I'm sure things are even worse in the rest of America.
If you're different, you're bad. That's how we see it.
But you know what, guys? I can tell you one thing. I grew up in a village in the middle of the forest. When the first city is like 1 hour travel. Yeah?
Nice.
In 91,
You're muffled.
Can't hear it. Did you put your hand over your mic?
okay, sorry.
Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm saying, the Michael Jordan in Poland, it was like my grandma know him. Everyone knew Michael Jordan. We
In the
start
middle of the
playing.
forest.
I remember it like today. I was kicking a ball, and my brother told me, stop kicking the ball, go watch. There is a final 91, Magic against Jordan. So I did it. When I come back, the same ball that I was kicking, I was throwing. One game, it was enough. One game. So,
That's an amazing story, man, for real. That is a true, remarkable story. These are the stories that I talk about with people in my comment section. People that, like, from these small villages, these small towns, like you said, you're in the middle of nowhere, but you know who Michael Jordan is and what he represents, man. Those are the things that shows Michael Jordan's impact, what he means to the people around the world, man, because of the things that he did on the basketball court and the way he went about his business, man. Like I said, it's more than just the on-court game. It's the way that he went about these things, man, the way he carried himself. So thank you for sharing that story, man. That's remarkable.
It's just sounded like a
worries, guys. Yeah. I'm huge fan of the Bulls, Jordan. Even since those years that they didn't win in anything, I still watch Bulls. That doesn't change for me. It's a shame that they're not really good, but things can change.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yep.
Hey, thank you for the great story. I'm just realizing, I don't know why it's not popping up inside of this feed, but I did get one super thanks, and I don't want to abuse those guys. Thank you for your perspective and your great story. And
No worries,
please
guys.
call in again in the future.
Yo, thanks a lot,
Doing
man.
good job, yeah. Thanks, guys.
So, ball of power, bro. Ball of power.
You know how interesting it is how they talk about the greats. They are reminiscent of the days with Jordan's stories, and then now the basketball court has been infected by the LeBron guys. And what are the LeBron guys doing? Are they talking about LeBron's greatness? No, they're shitting on people from the past.
we're talking about how he's a good father or a good citizen.
And it is a lot like religion. One of you guys said that it's like a religion because of the amount of shit you have to deny in order to still believe.
Right, and that's why I asked, the guy who called in, who said he was a LeBron James fan. I really wanted to know, where'd you have him ranked in? Because he was seeming to make sense, the things that he was saying. So it led me to believe that there was no way he could have had LeBron James as the greatest of all time or right behind Michael Jordan. So that's why I really wanted to hear where he had him ranked in and his feelings overall about LeBron James in relation to Michael Jordan. Because like you said, it's really hard to come to terms with the things that LeBron James does on a regular basis, man. How could you defend these things?
Get Down gave a super chat, thanks, and I want to read it really quick. Nick Wright said the Dream Team was overrated because Bird was cooked, Magic was retired, and Barkley, blah, blah, blah. Just crapping on everyone. Yeah, they were terrible, weren't they?
Yeah, see, go ahead, Speed. You want to say something about that?
Yeah, and real quick though, if you want to dispel this with all of the evidence, I know Uncut Hoops already put a video out explaining why that's all horseshit, and those guys were actually all coming right off of great moments in their careers. So the counter proof is already out there, done more professionally by a YouTuber than the professionals that we have out there. All right, go ahead.
It's fucking, excuse my language, it's tiring hearing about the old days because Penny, Grant, even if you go down a tier, Steve Francis, any of those so-called plumbers would give the business to just about everybody in the league today, minus, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 defenders. Shaq, if he played today, he's averaging maybe 60 a game. So I'm so sick of this. Back in the day, they were better. Because if you think about it, if you see how ball players play today, even from a like foundational standpoint, it's not there. How many times have you seen Ja Morant just go down the lane and jump into somebody because of the highlight, not because it's almost points? How many times have you seen LeBron pass the ball, look away 3 seconds later, and then he knows that's going to be the number 1 play on ESPN because of the optics? There's the fundamentals are, except for Kyrie Irving, obviously, the fundamentals just don't seem to be there. And back in the day, there were. John Stockton would give the business to everybody now. Everybody. And they'll say he's like the small, unathletic white guy. It's tiring. It's frustrating.
E-Man and Niall, I see you guys waiting, so I'm going to get to you. Just wanted to let you know that I am going to get to you. Speed Engine, going off of what you said, a lot of me going back and watching the old games is based on, wait a minute, there's no way what you LeBron people are saying is true, but I'm going to go back and rewatch it. And you know what I've seen? I looked at those plumbers again and was more scared than I remembered. I'm like, I wouldn't want to play those dudes. These were not small. These were not small, pathetic dudes. They were intimidating.
Bill Laimbeer was a goon.
Well, I don't even. Yeah, he was a goon, but I'm talking about some guys that had some size on them, some good arms, thick as hell, and 7 feet tall. E-Man, I'm letting you in.
Yo, can you hear me?
E-Man, we can hear you.
Yo.
Yo, how y'all doing? So I had a question. So, there's a lot of, chatter about, if LeBron really cares about winning or not. Well, do you think he cares about winning today? And if not, when was the last time you guys think he cared about winning? Like, I want to win a championship this year.
We talked about that on one of the Sunday live streams, I think. And my perspective is that it depends what kind of winning. He's not thinking in terms of the team or the franchise and the legacy and the pride. He's thinking in terms of how it will affect him personally, which is a different kind of winning, building his brand for the future. I don't like that attitude toward winning as much. Like right now, he's, the claims that he made to try and improve the Laker roster, and yet he inflated the salary cap and wasted a draft space and all these other things that he's done. He doesn't tell me that he wants to win that badly. He wants to add more check marks to things that stupid LeBron fans can say, well, Jordan never had his son on the team and things like that. I'm done.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah,
I mean,
and my
that's
thing
a
with the
great
whole Bronny.
question. No, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm about to say, like, Bronny being drafted, like, that's one thing. Like, it's a 55th pick. Who cares? Him getting a guaranteed deal, though, at the 55th pick, that was crazy to me. Him getting a
It
guaranteed
should be
deal, like,
illegal.
that's
It should
really
be
rare.
fucking
That usually
illegal.
doesn't happen. Like, yeah, like, isn't it only, like, first round
It should
picks that get guaranteed
the
deals?
entire thing.
Usually?
Yeah, it doesn't happen with second round picks. Certainly not
No.
4-year deals. And it was a non two-way. Like they can't say goodbye. They can't send him down to the G League. I mean, this is madness. And
No, he can't go to G League, I think.
oh, can he? I thought there was some sort of protection.
Yeah, I think they were talking about him going to the G League.
Okay.
No, but it's like a guaranteed contract. He's on the team, just like fluctuate from the G League and the NBA.
The thing is, he could have still played for the Lakers. He didn't have to use up a draft spot. They could have picked him up after the draft. But sports, you were going to say something.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying that was a great question that he asked about, does LeBron James, care about winning, or when the last time that LeBron James actually cared about winning? Because, I mean, if we're really being honest here, and if you look at LeBron James' career from the beginning to now, can you really say that he really ever cared genuinely about winning? Because for me, LeBron James, to me, he always came across in the league as he started out, was a guy who thought it was going to be easy. It was going to be handed to him. That's the problem for LeBron James. He didn't realize how hard it was actually going to be to win an NBA championship, man. He didn't really understand Michael Jordan's journey, which is really odd to me because he always talks about him, growing up watching Michael Jordan and knowing who Michael Jordan was and things of that nature. So he should have understood the grind, the journey of Michael Jordan, and that Michael Jordan earned it through fire, through the fire on the basketball court that we were talking about earlier, going against some of these great teams. Once again, as they're earning it. LeBron James seems to me that he thought he was going to come in, he was going to dominate the way he did in high school, and all of a sudden he was going to win all these championships. And then he was sort of losing, and then the pressure started mounting, and then what did he do? He ran away, man. And for me, that pretty much shows that you don't really want to win because you don't want to win the right way. So it don't really matter if you really, he wants to win. He's a professional basketball player. Obviously, he wants to win, but does he really want to win the right way? Does he really want to earn it the right way? He's never really done this. And that's part of the problem for LeBron James, man.
There's not one reporter that has the balls, real quick, I'm sorry, that has the balls to ask him, did you draft Bronny to win? Because him drafting his fucking son tells you everything you need to know. And I know when we talked to Gilbert a couple weeks ago, he said, what's the big deal? It's the 15th pick. Everybody in this room, everybody on this panel knows that he's going to get playing time more than any other 55th pick ever, no matter how he plays. And it's going to take like an act of God for him not to play. So,
E-Man, thank you for calling in. I'm going to get to some more callers. We got a lot of people waiting, apparently. Niall, you're on.
Yep. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yo.
Oh, yo. Okay. I called in before, but then I got into an argument with my boy here.
Like
how in God's name can you justify LeBron being top 10? How can you put him over Hakeem Olajuwon? How could you put him over Larry Bird? It doesn't make sense. They did more in less time. They did more with less.
In less time. With less.
I'm not getting it.
Niall, what was the argument that was presented?
So a previous caller, someone who just got off.
Yeah, like they're trying to use the longevity,
gotcha.
The longevity, whatever. But even when he won, he had to leave and jump and team up and collude. If you're gonna do a draft and you pick guys, why would you pick a guy that has to collude with players, make an agency, run your organization essentially? You can't be in the top 10, or am I insane?
Now, have you ever seen the movie Boiler Room?
Right.
Have you ever seen the movie Boiler Room, Niall?
No.
Okay. There's a scene in there. No, well, it'll still tell. There's a scene in there where you see an office getting raided by a bunch of officers because they were doing a bunch of illegal shit. In about 10 years, that's exactly what's going to happen to Clutch. Because once LeBron's value goes down, they'll find a way to disband Clutch. They tried to do it with Rich Paul by giving that stupid "you need a degree to be an agent," which was clearly an attack on him, which I did disagree with that. That's corny. I mean, he is there. So once LeBron isn't valuable anymore, clutch is gone.
I accidentally turned Niall off, but we got someone named Philosopher Stoned waiting. That sounds like a interesting caller.
Let's do it.
I hope he is stoned and philosophizing. You're on. Too stoned because your shit's not working.
That's a great name.
Hey, check your audio.
Philosophize us.
Maybe it's sign language. He doesn't know his camera's off.
Philosopher Stoned, if you want to try back, check your settings. We can't hear you. The guest room is full, so I'm going to move on. For those of you who don't know, we started this by talking about Sports and Fitness Rants video this morning about the league helping Michael Jordan when he complained about fouls. Yes, it was ridiculous of him to think he shouldn't be murdered by cheaters. Mike Lowry, you're coming in.
Oh, man.
Mike Lowry, you're on.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, you can have us. Hey, how you doing, fellas?
Hey, what's
there
up?
He is.
What up, man?
Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that, fellas. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Good. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on. You know, I've been following you guys for the last couple of weeks. You know, I think I jumped on a couple live streams ago, and I've been, watched from the NBA draft just went through. So we got to see the NBA draft since then. We got to hear about, some of these new guys coming into the league, some of the future new guys that are coming into the league, like the Cooper Flags that are coming into the league. We already got Wemby in there, and it gives me a good feeling because I feel like the end is near, like with all this LeBron, like with all this fugazi basketball, all this whining weirdness. I feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel because a lot of the new guys, they're coming at, I didn't think this was going to happen before, but a lot of the new guys are coming at age 18, 19, right? And if they're coming in at age 19 with a three-point shot already developed, they already got the game developed, they should be able to pass a lot of his records that he already has if they can have a long career. They should be able to catch it. Like Wemby, for example, he came in the league at 19. He's going to have way more blocks than LeBron. We know this, right? He's going to have way more steals. He's going to have way more stats than LeBron at the end of the day if he can play that long. But some of these other guys, Cooper Flag, the man's got game is polished. Every team wants him, right? He already has a three-point shot developed already. He's going to come in at 19. He's probably going to have there's a chance he could have more points than LeBron. You see, so there's going to be an evolution of basketball that I'm looking forward to, especially after this LeBron era is over with. And a lot of the youngsters, you're going to see real basketball actually being played. And I'm glad that it's messed up because we're going through a pandemic of sorts of basketball for decades. All these youngins, they're confused. They're not going to know real basketball until the pandemic is over and we all get vaccinated, and then we all get to see real basketball being played. So I just want to, guys, keep up the good work. I love you guys, man. I follow you guys, man, and man, keep up the good spirits, man. We gotta these youngsters, man, they're gonna see real good basketball coming soon, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Mike, before you go, thank you for the compliments. Thank you for the comment. I'm a pessimist. I appreciate that you're an optimist. It's good that you're optimistic, but man, some of the, how about this supposed report that the guys on the Dream Team said that LeBron is their best player? It's utter horseshit, and yet they're willing to say these things. And this is what makes me worried for the future. Is this really the type of dog that's inside of these guys? Are people that are that willing to just be like, I don't really give a shit, let him have it? Is that who's going to carry us into the future?
Hey, OH, you know what's wild is a lot of those stories, you never hear that individual actually say it. It's always written that so-and-so said LeBron is this and so-and-so said LeBron is that. And then you never, ever see the video proof of it. Not once. And if you do, it's usually just some clutch affiliate like Damon Jones or one of those guys.
Yeah, word.
I feel like it's the same reason that they gave LeBron the captain of the Dream Team. Everybody knows that he probably has, out of everybody on that team, he's probably around 6 to 8 as far as game is concerned. He might even be lower than that. But as far as game is concerned, he's probably like around 6, maybe 7, 8, somewhere around there. So at least 5 or 6 guys know they have better game than him.
If they officiate LeBron James, if these international officials call it the way they're supposed to call it, we're going to see exactly how low his game is, because how much of what he did accomplish these last couple of years were due to them literally letting him do things you aren't allowed to do.
Well, I think his minutes are going to be limited, kind of like in the All-Star game when he kind of came in and then he went out. I think his minutes are going to be limited. You know, this kind of his swan song, so to speak. You know, he's going to do the Olympics.
I think this is his excuse when they start sucking. I think they're going to say he's going to say he fell off because he played in the Olympics.
Well, I mean, this is his goodbye tour anyway. So he's going to.
He's got one more season after this.
So it starts with the Olympics.
Yep.
Mike, thank you so much. Thank you for the support.
Thank you, guys.
No, for real, man. Much respect. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got some people in the waiting room. For those of you,
they saying Dart trying to get in.
Is Dart trying to get in?
I did see that.
That's what I see people in the chat saying.
How can you see people that are not even the chat room?
It says in the
full,
chat that he's trying to get in.
Oh, you guys are reading it in the chat. Okay.
Yeah.
He's not showing in the back room here. So I'm gonna have to go through these callers for him to even show up. Philosopher Stone is trying to get back on again. Louise. For those of you who don't know, this show started by talking about the fouling that Michael Jordan went through or didn't go through, depending on your perspective. But let's see what our new caller has to say. Luis, or say your name for me.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, big fan of all you guys, man. I love the truth telling, man. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. My generation is the LeBron generation. I have the last name LeBron. I got to hear it all the time. You know, LeBron's the greatest.
Real?
LeBron this, LeBron that. I just, man,
no shit.
I was taught from a young age playing basketball that it's how you do it and when you do it. The way Michael Jordan did it, it can't be replicated. From what I've seen, there's no guys coming up that are even close. So I don't understand all the hype. I really think it's just the media really getting to my generation. I'm 28. It's only getting worse with the younger generation. All the stats are inflated. There's no defense being played either. So it's just, I don't know. I hate when you see the stats being thrown around. It don't make sense. You know, numbers lie. So it's just annoying to hear that all the time.
You know, after this year's finals, to your point, after this year's finals, I kept seeing at the bottom of the screen the stats going up. This is the most blah, blah, blah that's ever happened. Yeah, and that's going to happen every single year. Stop acting like it's a big deal. They've changed the game to the extent that everybody's scoring these ridiculous numbers now, and it's going to happen next. It's a guarantee now. It's just a trend this direction with scoring, to where you're not going to be surprised or excited when they break more records in next year's finals. It's right.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like when say, you know, LeBron's the oldest to do this and he's the oldest to do that, and it's like, no shit, because he's still playing. And like the scoring record, for example, which I could argue all day, but every time he breaks, you know, 50 points or he goes up 50 points, it's LeBron's oldest to do this. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go quickly because we've got a bunch of people. Thank you so much for your
thanks
support.
a lot, man, for your support.
You need to trace your family tree, genealogy, find out when that last name started.
His last name was really LeBron. That's crazy.
I thought that was just a joke.
Let's give Philosopher Stone another try.
Louis LeBron. That sounds like a supervillain.
There, we can see him. Philosopher.
Right, what up?
Must have bad connection.
You're frozen, Philosopher.
All right, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna go on.
Hello? You hear me?
Oh.
Yep.
Kind of.
I heard you. Yeah, I heard him say something. I can hear you.
You hear me?
Try one more. Try one more time.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
First, can you guys hear me now? First off, I just wanted to keep it up. Thank you guys. There's so much BS out there coming from Clutch and all these guys. It's terrible. But just to get straight to the point, AOH, I heard you mention the Dream Team and also US Team USA.
Shit, I didn't hear the last part of that.
It was the select team. Can you guys hear me? Select team.
You're going in and out. I'm guessing you're probably saying like the coolest shit.
Guys, I'm gonna be the dick. This is the AOH show. We got to get to other callers. I wanted to hear that. Maybe he can call in when he's in a better spot.
Yo, drop the link again, AOH. Drop the link again.
Someone said he spilled bong water on his computer. That's funny. That's funny. I'm not gonna say I haven't been there, so that's why that's funny.
You are welcome to try again. You're welcome to try again with better signal. Let's see, Planet P. I'm bringing in Planet P. I still don't see Dart yet.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yo.
I can hear you.
First off, thank y'all for having me on. I'm a fan of all your channels. Sports and fitness, man. I got to get back in shape. Last year, I went on a 60-day smoothie diet, lost 38 pounds in 60 days, gained it all back this year.
Oh.
So, looking at this stuff, it's motivating me to get back in the gym, but, losing weight ain't nothing. But, just regarding LeBron, man, it just annoys me so much how they don't even, in mainstream media, they don't even discuss, and I'm sorry if I pause a little bit, I'm driving, but they don't even discuss any of the other greats. And when they do, they don't do it objectively. They don't give them the time and the respect and the courtesy that their careers, actually deserve. Like Bill Russell, I'm 27 years old. I'm kind of like a basketball historian. Like I'm in the process of making a channel and doing some research on like the all-time greats. Just they can get the proper spotlight that they deserve. But make a long story short, if you hear the narrative around somebody like Bill Russell, all people say about him is, he played defense and rebounded. His team was so good, you can't even give him credit. And one of the big things that he accomplished in his career that they don't even bring up is the fact that he also won 5 MVPs. It's the fact that in the playoffs, he led the entire playoffs in total win shares 5 years out of his career. 2 of those seasons, he also led all players in the playoffs in assists. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And when you can see LeBron play, like, I watched the Johnny Arnett video when he did he basically researched those games that Tom Haberstraw researched, talking about the Jordan steals and blocks or whatever. But make a long story short, like, forget the stats. And sports and fitness, you said this in your video in response to that. Forget the stats. You see Jordan flying all around the court. You understand what I'm saying? Like, challenging every shot, going after every steal, recovering, the speed, the hustle, all of that, man. It's just like, bro, you don't need the stats to realize his impact on the game because it jumps out at you. So when you see LeBron, basically be a traffic cone on defense and then throw his hands up, and then on top of that, just a competitive nature. Like, man, look, I played football in high school and in college. I don't give a fuck who's on the team. Like, I'm looking at you. I'm like, it's either you or me, regardless of who you got. I gotta go get you. When Golden State got Kevin Durant, it's like the competitive spirit in me would not allow me to say, oh man, like, they were 73-9 last year. We barely beat them 7 games. Now they got KD. Like, what we gonna do? It's like, nah, man, fuck y'all. I just beat y'all last year. It don't matter who you got. You can have Jordan in his prime on the team. I'm gonna beat y'all. I got the mental edge right now. Especially considering that LeBron already beat both Curry and Kevin Durant. When Kevin Durant was, not both of them together, but he beat KD when he was in OKC and when LeBron was in Miami. You understand what I'm saying? It's like just the mind of a competitor. It's like LeBron doesn't even have that. And it's one of those things, like, if you're going to say this player is the greatest player of all time, meaning, like, and this is a little practice. I'm going to put these in one of my videos. I hope y'all look out for the channel when I eventually make it, but I just find it funny how...
Man, you right on the money, man. What you're talking about with the legends, and we talk about how we talk about the past eras, man. This is the problem I have with the LeBron James fan base, man. What they continue to do is to tear down the players, to lift LeBron James up. You haven't heard one LeBron James fan, not one LeBron James channel, make an argument for LeBron James, an actually competent argument based off of reality without tearing down Michael Jordan or bringing up Scottie Pippen or tearing down the era. That's the only way they can make an argument for Michael Jordan. What do you see about people in the chat right now, talking about Bill Russell? What they're doing is tearing down the time that Bill Russell played by saying he only played when there were 8 teams. Once again, like my man Will Chamberlain educated them to the facts. All that means is that the great players are condensed on fewer teams. That's all it really meant. You're playing against Bob Pettit and the Will Chamberlains, the Oscar Robertsons, the Jerry Wests more often. That's all that meant. It doesn't take away any greatness from Bill Russell. Once again, you're trying to take away from Bill Russell to elevate another player. What we should be doing, and what I do on my channel is I tell people, it doesn't matter if you believe Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time or not. But what I tell people all the time is I haven't heard a solid argument against Michael Jordan, for anybody over Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. But I don't have to tear down any NBA player. I've done several debates. I've done debates against Magic Johnson and other players, and I've never had to tear these players down to lift Michael Jordan up over them. I don't have to do that. Michael Jordan and the other great players, they stand on their resumes, on their greatness. The LeBron James fans, what do? When you try to debate against whoever it is, not just Michael Jordan, they'll bring up other players, they'll bring up the players' teammates, they'll bring up when they played, all these things. You can't talk about Bill Russell and say that he played with only 8 teams and try to make it seem as if Bill Russell played under easier conditions than the guys play today, that the players of the past played under easier conditions than the guys play today, because those same people won't bring up the sneakers that Bill Russell was playing with, the court that he was playing on, the kind of racial and crazy things and the threats he was getting every day when he walked into some of these cities, man. They're not going to talk about those aspects of the game, are they? No, they're not going to talk about the fact that Bill Russell coached and played at the same time. You name me an NBA player today that's going to coach a team to a championship while playing at the same time. And Bill Russell, once again, guys, is known for giving the effort and being 100% class personified.
Robin, it's not just that it's a weak argument. It shows a sign of the times when you were raised without that instinct inside of you that says, well, I don't know, and I'm not going to talk about it, because you shouldn't talk about people you don't know. You shouldn't talk about things you don't know about. And you shouldn't, and you should have been raised that you don't talk about people from the past, legends, and shit on them, especially if you haven't watched for yourself or known for yourself. But even if those guys sucked, let's pretend that they sucked. That's not how you behave. You don't go shit on people from the past that came earlier so that you can be where you are today. It's just bad. And Planet P and a couple other guys, kind of alluded to how you do it is more important than what has happened. LeBron could have 20 rings using his gimmicks, and I would never think of him the same way as Jordan. If Jordan had lost 3 out of 6 of his, the way he pursued it was what was enjoyable.
You know what's going to be interesting real quick to see is in about 20 years when everybody's looking back at stats and they're picking apart LeBron's career and they're seeing the records of the teams he was beating and the flopping and all the bullshit. Hopefully we'll see the NBA go back to a tougher style. 20 years from now, they're going to pick all this apart. Hopefully.
We'll see how much his billion-dollar media company helps suppress that shit. I've already noticed some of the things that I search for that I should be able to find easily are way hard to find.
Yeah.
I got to get Ken S in here, and then Dom is behind him. You guys, I'm coming. And Ken S, you're on.
What's up, man? Hey, it's me, bro. I'm in here.
Ken S, my man, what up? Much respect.
What's up, man? Hey, both of y'all, man.
Member of my channel.
Yeah. I need to get on AOH too, man. I've been watching AOH just as long, man. I mean, I'm real happy y'all together, man. So, like, I just want to keep it current though. Like, couple topics, man. We got to get out in front of this whole LeBron had the greatest career nonsense, man. Like, they really trying to push that, man, and they about to blow it up, like, especially with this Bronny shit. Like, they really gonna go hard with that. I can just see it coming in the next 5 years, man. And they gonna really try to make that, like, the candle on their cake, bro. Hell no. We need to crush that cake, bro. He did not have nowhere near the greatest career, bro. Stop it. Like,
Robin,
um,
take
yeah,
this. I'm gonna go grab a beer. I'll be right back.
Yeah, yo, once again, Ken S, man, thank you for all your continued support, man. Much respect for you, man. All the things that you comment in my videos. Thank you very much. And yeah, man, listen, you run on the money with this stuff, man. It's crazy. They're always, like I say, they're always trying to rewrite the history once again. And like you said, they're trying to say that LeBron James has the greatest career. LeBron James, it's another narrative. We all know this thing about LeBron James' story. LeBron James' story is nothing like the Michael Jordan story, man.
oh my
LeBron
God.
James' career, nothing like the career of Michael Jordan, man. So yeah, you right on the money.
And that video that you made about Jordan when you said he's the real chosen one, bro, that's one of your best, bro. Cause you really you brought a lot on that one, bro. Like
Yo,
Jordan was the chosen one, man.
Yo, for real. Yo, thank you again. Listen, I tell people all the time, when you look at Michael Jordan, when you look at him, this man was born to play basketball. He was born for it. When you look at the way he was built, the 6'6" frame, the way he has the wiry strength, the big hands, the
His
leaping
hands out.
ability,
Yeah.
the cat-like quickness, all these things, man, the speed, the intelligence, the instincts, all these things, the work ethic. He was born to be a competitor, and his body was built for basketball, man. It's just the way it
Yeah,
goes.
chosen one. So yeah, I don't want to hold up too long. I'm glad to see y'all. But one more thing, cause it's current, like I said, bro, we gotta get that Johnny Arnett. We gotta give him that Gilbert Arenas treatment, man. Like I saw from him, bro. So shout out that dude. You know what I mean? Go in on him if you got to. Just keep your eye peeled on that dude. I see he showed up on the Sunday thing, man.
Yup.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to hold it up, man. I'm
Nah,
glad
but
to
yo,
see
listen,
y'all
man. Yo,
together,
listen,
man.
I
Thank
want to say something real quick about that Johnny Arnett stuff. Listen, I did a video talking about his video and what he talked about, and I appreciated the work that he did, the research, the effort that he gave in his video. Now, a lot of people have been sending me comments now telling me that Johnny Arnett is a LeBron James apologist and that he has
Facts.
LeBron James ranked #2 all time. I don't know if
Ugh,
that's a fact. I don't know his channel that well, but if that's the case, then we need to get him back on the Sunday stream and we need to go over these things.
really. So
That's what
yeah,
I
I
want
ain't
to
gonna hold
know.
it up.
Ken S. Thank you so much for calling in.
For real,
Hey,
thank you.
thank y'all, bro. Every day, bro.
And Dom Candle Guy FX. And you guys ready for Dom? Dom, you're on.
What up? What up? What up, man? Thank y'all for having me up.
Yo,
Welcome.
what up, man?
Man, what's good, man? Sports and fitness, man. I love your energy, dude. Like, my brother-in-law's from New York, so like y'all share the same energy. I rock with y'all.
Yo, thank you, thank you.
For sure, for sure. So I just want to make a quick comment. I'm 37 years old, so I'm old enough to have seen the second three-peat of Jordan, but I really grew up during the Kobe Shaq era. And so naturally Kobe is my favorite player of all time. But just because he's my favorite player, I'm smart enough to say Jordan is the GOAT, just based off of all the stats and everything that you guys argue about it all the time. So my thing is, what is LeBron and his teams or his fan base obsession with having to be the greatest of all time? What's wrong with just accepting his place in history, wherever that may be? Like, why does he have to cement himself above everyone else? And I think my assumption, and I was talking about my friends about this, my assumption is he has like deeply rooted daddy issues because any man who has a strong father or male role model in their life, in their childhood, they don't need that acceptance. Like, to me, it seems as if he needs to be accepted. Like, and it's so weird to me because I mean, and because when I look at Kobe and I look at Jordan, they never ever like uttered the words that I'm the greatest of all time. Like, I think there's like an old interview of like Kobe. He was on like one of those late night talk shows. He's like, dude, like I would never like disrespect the people who came before me and put myself above the greats before me, right? So like, why is he so obsessed with this and like the media and everything? Like y'all talk to me about that.
Well, Dom, maybe the fact that he did do it, he made that mistake. He declared himself as the greatest. Now how does he get out of that? You know, unfortunately, it's in the record books, and now maybe he sees only one direction for it is to continue to try and make up for that by convincing people that he wasn't wrong in saying it. The other direction is for him to be like, yeah, I never should have said that. But does anything about LeBron's character make you think that he would ever say that? Ever admit, yeah, that was a fucking dumb thing to say? I don't see that coming out of his mouth.
He'd have a lot more fans if he did. Because that's the whole thing. He put himself in that position, talking all that shit about how he's great. And that was before anything happened. And, you know, he said, keep the same energy on Twitter. Everybody kept the same energy. He's the one who deleted the damn tweet. So if you don't even have enough character to do the exact same shit you're telling people to do, keeping the same energy, deleting what you said, like it didn't happen, then that's not, I think that goes beyond not having a male figure. That's just like, at some point in your life, you were hurt bad and you haven't recovered from it. You know what I mean?
Yo, man. Yeah. Yo, you're right, man. Yo, it's crazy, man. When you're saying these things, man. One of the greatest characteristics that a true champion, a true legend, a true superstar, any all-time great in any aspect of life can have is humility, being humble. And LeBron James has lacked humility throughout his entire career. When you talk about the things that you're talking about, him calling himself the greatest of all time or always feeling the need to pump himself up, the man actually had his wife come on stage and introduce him as the GOAT. Can you go back in history and you name me one great player in any sport that's ever had some nonsense like that? I mean, it's absolutely laughable, man.
That looked
This
difficult
is
for her to
not
do.
Muhammad Ali calling himself the greatest of all time. People called Muhammad Ali the greatest of all time. Muhammad Ali earned that title by the way that he carried himself. Muhammad Ali is a well-respected, classy, had more integrity than LeBron James can ever think about having. So Muhammad Ali is respected, and it's not looked a certain way for him to call himself the greatest of all time. LeBron James wants you to believe that he's something that he knows deep down he's not. He keeps asking for the respect and all of these things. It's an absolute joke, man. Michael Jordan, the other great players, they didn't have to call themselves these things. They didn't have to tear down the past eras, because that's really what he's doing when he calls himself this and that. You should be having the other people call you these things.
Dom, thank you so much. Get ready. Candle Guy FX, you're about to come up. I was going to say something really quick. You know, when you believe here in yourself and that you're accomplished it, that's when you're capable of being humble. You know, you don't have to say that when you believe it here, you don't you're able to give other people props. You notice how LeBron James still has trouble giving his teammates props or even giving props to past teammates. He's still shitting on people from the past and still not acknowledging his current players and still finding ways to praise himself. Everything about that screams insecurity.
Well, he says his son is better than everybody on his team. His son who's now on the team, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I could go on forever. Let's get Candle Guy in here.
Yo, go on.
Light another candle. I can't see a damn thing.
Yeah, that's me, bro.
What up, man?
All right, what's going on? Shout out to Angry Old Hoops and Sports and Fitness. I haven't gotten to Steam Engine as yet, but you know I'm on YouTube guys already. I got to the stream late, so didn't really catch much about what you guys were discussing before. But as it relates to LeBron James and the whole Michael Jordan thing, this is my opinion on it. I really like the guy when he just came into the league. You could see they were pushing him, and that was okay. But after a while, he saw a backdoor to get things done. Right? He saw the easy route, and he's like, no one's going to stop me, so I'm going to go for it. As it relates to him wanting to win, he wants to win. But he has finally recognized that even if he got like 5 more championships, 2 more championships, 3 more championships, he's not surpassing Michael Jordan. He knows in himself that he's not greater than Michael Jordan as a basketball player. So what he chose to do is to ride the media, have the media go through and clear the path for him, open doors for him, close windows for him, block the eyes of the people. So that's his path, and he's got Clutch Sports now, who is basically mopping up and sweeping up behind him. So as it relates to him wanting to win, he knows that another championship, another 2 championship is not going to do anything for him. He's just got to play the longevity and the legacy game. And the other part, you guys keep saying he has a scoring record or scoring title or some crap like that. People say it in the media. You guys have picked up on that. He has the points total title or whatever that is. He has no scoring title. So whenever I hear that, it just ticks me off.
Candle guy, where are you calling from?
I'm in the Bahamas right now, and I'm a Jamaican.
All right.
Yo, much respect, man.
No shit.
Yo,
It's
what
actually
we were talking about earlier
Independence right
live.
here. It's Independence
what we
right
were
here.
talking about is that LeBron James always be getting hooked up, and he's always been getting the benefit of the doubt treatment, like you were just talking about, as it relates to the foul calls that Michael Jordan may have been getting, in his career. And we think about LeBron James, like I said, never getting called for fouls. If you go in and look at all the games that LeBron James plays, how many times have you seen LeBron James over the last several seasons play 30-plus minutes in a game, have 0 fouls called against him, and then you go back and you watch the video footage, this man's pushing people all over the court, he's grabbing people's arms for rebounds. I mean, it's laughable at best, man.
He's elbowing people in their rib cage. He's molding over people, and the referee just do like this. Their Stevie Wonder glasses are on. They can't see anything. That's how it is. And as it relates to Michael Jordan going to the GM or the front office or whatever to ask for him for some phone calls to be called on him, right? If I was being punished like that, I would have asked somebody to look into that, right? Yeah. So even if he asked for that, how many things have LeBron asked for and gotten over the years? He's a walking baby in the league.
Exactly.
Right? So
if he did do it, there's nothing weird about it.
What's that? AOH?
Exactly like you said. If he did do it, there's nothing weird about it. You get punished like that, you might want to voice some concern at some point.
And remember, he got injured before they say that he went and got went for this phone call or whatever privilege treatment. So
his foot injury. The foot injury?
Yeah, he got that earlier on in his career. And this guy came back and did it 3 times. And again, 3 times. And they're always saying, I know you guys soon put someone in, but one last thing. They're always saying like LeBron James, he went to the finals 10 times and whatever. I look at it like this. If you are a criminal, right? And you get into some trouble, do you want the lawyer that went 10 times and only won 4 cases, or the lawyer that every time he went to court with someone 6 times, he got off? The person got off all 6 times. Which one are you taking with you? Which lawyer are you going to get?
Candle guy, you should patent that. Like that's such a dope comparison.
All right, guys.
Like you should carry that all the way to the top.
We're gonna go from Jamaica to a guy who probably wishes he was in Jamaica, Mr. Stoned himself. Let's hope the third try works.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Better. That's better.
Yeah. What up, man?
Hey, man. First off, thanks for being patient with me, guys. Number one, you guys are doing God's work. Please continue to expose the lies, the fakeness, all that stuff. Number two, I wanted to touch on something that AOH said earlier. You were mentioning the voting for LeBron with them saying that he was the best player. That was the select team, man. It was the kids. It was not the adults.
Interesting. You know what? And I should have thought to look deeper into it, but I just listened to what was playing while I was jogging, and of course, Nick Wright leaves that detail out. How professional is that? How do you not fucking mention that detail?
Oh, I have another interesting detail that you guys are gonna love if you haven't already heard. So they almost lost to the select team, and they only won by 1 point. 1 point.
I'm sure.
Are these being aired?
It's a free.
Can we watch these? Are these being aired?
I don't know if you can watch it, but if you got to do some research, man, because ESPN is burying this story. They put out that little bull, I almost cussed, BS fluff piece about LeBron being voted the best player because they don't want you to know. And this is the funniest part. People, the LeBron jock sniffers are coming out the woodworks and they're saying, oh, well, the dream team, they almost lost to the select team when they were playing. Yeah, because Michael Jordan wasn't playing. But LeBron was playing in this game. Hmm.
You got to understand. I mean, this man had even when he was a kid, had a video taken off the internet. Well, Nike did that. I'm not surprised that all of this stuff gets tucked away. I mentioned this, I think, on last week's show. The idea that him taking $2.7 million less, that story being put out as him being generous for the Lakers, is the most irresponsible journalism I think I've ever seen. And it's being framed as if he's being like some kind of hero. It's just, and then they still signed his son for what, $9 million over 4 years. So you're still like, the Lakers are still losing out. It's like, to your point, the media is just, this is why we do this all the time. This is why all you guys talk about is LeBron. Yeah, because we're basketball fans, and as basketball fans, we're completely just overrun with LeBron shit. And for the counter to that is always, well, you're a hater. Oh, you're making money off his name. All right, well, cool. But, somebody has to, so it might as well be us.
Hey, you guys mentioned earlier bring that same energy, keep that same energy. Well, LeBron fans don't get mad at us. Your boy said to do it. Yep. You want to mouth off like that and then get mad when we bring the evidence and embarrass you? No, don't ask for the energy.
I don't even believe that. I don't even believe that voting story. Unless I hear it from the people's mouths, I never believe the story. Ever.
Nah, yeah, but like you said, them voters don't mean a damn thing. Them votes, it means nothing. And once again, we should be embarrassed because this is who's representing us as the captain of the USA basketball team. LeBron James, one of the most classless individuals. This guy who lacks sportsmanship. Time and time again, you see LeBron James show a poor sportsmanship. I mean, just think about as you're an adult. If you have small children, would you want them to emulate LeBron James, or would you want to show them LeBron James walking off the court early or showing poor body language, sitting off to the side while the coach is trying to draw up a play, trying to galvanize the team around him, and there goes LeBron James pounding, moaning off to the side? That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You see people in the chat saying LeBron is great. Listen, no one's ever said LeBron James not great. No one ever said LeBron James not going to go to the Hall of Fame. What I'm always telling people is LeBron James ain't nowhere close to Michael Jordan. That's the facts. And the LeBron James fans take that as disrespect and take that as we're saying LeBron James is trash or garbage. No, what I'm saying, and everybody out there, I do not respect LeBron James and the way he's gone about his career and the way that he carries himself and conducts his business on and off the basketball court. I don't respect it, and I don't have to respect it because the video footage shows me everything that I need to know.
Philosopher, thank you so much. Feel free to call back in.
Hey, can I say one more thing before I go?
Sure.
If you look at I just want you guys to look at the last play. You can find it online. Just Google it. Look at the last play of the select game versus the starting USA men's team. Okay, it's I forgot the dude's name from Golden State. The guy with the white fro guy, not UAH, but the other something.
Pozinski, yeah,
Pozinski. Okay,
yeah.
Pozinski tries to put up a shot and gets blocked by Anthony Davis. He shouldn't have had the ball in the first place. They could have won the game, and they're saying that the refs were making calls for LeBron like it was an NBA game. That's all I got to say, man. Keep doing God's work.
Wait. Who's reffing this game?
Probably, I don't know, but you know what? I bet they're employed by Clutch Sports.
Okay, but not. Okay, but it's not going to represent how it's really reffed.
Nope.
Rich ball.
We got.
They gotta get them overseas referees.
We got Michael Jordan fans are the best waiting.
Let's go, Dart.
The host of the Sunday show is about to hop on. Man, yeah, you know what? It was really interesting what he brought up about the select team, but also even the idea that the dream team almost lost to the select team back then. It was fixed. Do you not remember that part? Do you not remember that part? And do you not remember the annihilation that followed? I mean, it makes it a moot point.
Exactly.
All right. Dart, you're coming in.
Hello, everyone. Michael Jordan fans are the best.
My man, Dart.
That sounds like a recording straight up.
I've said it about a million times. It pretty much sounds the same at this point. But anyway, how you guys doing?
Where are the chickens?
Good.
I'm actually near some chickens. I got a nice Hawaiian shirt on right now. I'm sitting in my car like Robin.
Nice.
I'm taking a little break right now, but there's some chickens around here, but they're not. I'm in the car. No, but I encountered our friend FYF Sports Lamont because he had made a video about me. Also called me a mastermind of, I guess, this movement or whatever. I don't know, whatever they call it. I call it just a bunch of, apparently I created Dreamers Pro or something. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God.
Yo,
Oh
The
boy.
player haters ball. We're the player haters ball.
No, but so I called in because he was talking about me, and he didn't say anything super crazy, kind of just the regular old stuff. But no, I got to talking to him about LeBron James' 66 win team, and he was saying that team was not a good team. And because I brought up the whole decision, why didn't he stay with the Cavs? Because the next year they got 61 wins. They had 66 wins the year before, and he was saying that team was garbage essentially. And I had argued, well, and it's a team sport, and they put the right pieces around him, and they were able to get all of these wins. What do y'all think about the decision? Because I got to get going. Plus, it's y'all's show. I just wanted to call in and say hi, and really just
Dart, it's like you were reading my mind because I heard that recently. I was reminded of FYF saying that, claiming that like he went to a Miami team that was in the bottom of the league and had been there forever. And they're a couple of years removed from a championship. I think one of the reasons that they didn't have a good record is because Dwayne Wade did have an injury and he was recovering from that. I mean, it's completely out of context. I just wonder if he actually believes what he's saying, if he bothered to look into that Miami team at all before spewing that shit. But thank you for saying exactly what I was going to say, because we were talking about Miami a little bit earlier and I wanted to bring that up. FYF and his ridiculous takes.
Yeah, right. You're right, Dart. Listen, I saw your stuff too, man. And listen, I know my man Jim over at Self Research NBA Facts. I know he did a video some time back talking about the 66 win teams and how many teams won 60 plus games or 66 plus games and didn't and failed to win the title. And I don't even know if anyone's ever failed to win a title, man. It's crazy, or make it to the NBA Finals. It's insane when people try to downplay the LeBron James teams and the teammates he played with. But this is what we're talking about, and you know the deal, Dart. That's the only way they can make an argument for LeBron James and give him the excuses is by saying these teams weren't that great. But when you really break it down and you watch the game, they built the teams around LeBron James in that system. And those teams, like you said, they rebounded the basketball, they played the hard-nosed defense, and they had three-point shooters around LeBron James. All the ingredients they needed. LeBron James is the one that failed to, I said, raise his level of play when it mattered most, man.
Is Anthony Davis the best player LeBron's ever played with, or is it D Wade?
I'll say it was Dwayne Wade, I would probably say. I think Anthony Davis could probably have been the greatest player if he could have been more consistent on both sides of the ball. He has that potential, man. But, because Anthony Davis could have, Dwayne Wade was an MVP caliber player at his peak.
Who do you put after those two? Because he's got a long list of possibilities.
Well, the reason I ask about that is because in my mind, it's like LeBron kind of fucked up Anthony Davis's career.
Oh, yeah.
Because if LeBron had played up to any standard, they'd have at least 3 or 4 rings. Because Anthony Davis he was playing legendary basketball in the bubble. Of course, I don't think anyone gave a shit. But when he cared, they won. And now they don't win, and he just sits there in fancy clothes and says nothing about it. Like I truly think he should have had at least 4 chips by now.
Yeah, he didn't maximize Anthony Davis at all. He didn't make him tougher or better in any regard. So like you said, he didn't do what Michael Jordan did for Scottie Pippen. He didn't do that. He didn't even do what Michael Jordan did for Dennis Rodman or Ron Harper on the second three-peat. He didn't even do for those guys. Look what he did for Ron Harper, man. Ron Harper, who sacrificed and took a back seat to do what? The dirty work on the Chicago Bulls, man, to be part of a winning culture, a championship contender. And Michael Jordan led these guys. He did more for Scott Burrell than LeBron James ever did for a Kyrie Irving or a Kevin Love or any of these guys.
And Dellavedova is the only player to ever benefit from playing with LeBron James.
Think about Kevin Love and Chris Bosh, because those guys don't even make it into the conversation. Do you know what they were doing on their teams before joining LeBron James? Those guys were fucking nasty. Those guys were killing it. I mean, Kevin Love was the Minnesota Timberwolves and then some. He was just crazy. And same thing with Bosch on the Raptors. These were franchise players who ended up being role players for LeBron James and are so low on the list of stars LeBron's had that Kevin Love and Chris Bosh, who were franchise players, are all the way down here.
Kevin Love is so far down, he has to get mental health help.
Yeah, see, my man Jim, he just verified in the comments. My man Jim over at Self Research NBA Facts, he just verified in the comments, man. He said they're the only team in the East to win 65 plus games in the last 50 years and not win the championship, man. This is LeBron James, man. He had
Yeah,
help. He always had
the
help.
Celtics lost in '73, and I think they had 68 wins. But then they won the championship the next year, though. But that's the thing, is that they had it all tooled up to move forward, the Cavs. And I just don't think it's, I'm not saying that they had the top heavy talent. They didn't. It was LeBron and everyone else, but the team was a great team. You don't win 66 teams with a trash team. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you. I'll get out of here, but I just want to ask one question, because I haven't emailed you, AOH. Did you hear about this week's topic about who's number 2?
No.
Are you available / good to do that? That way I don't have to email you about it.
Yeah, you got to send it to me though.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. But
Okay.
but yeah, guys, great show. You guys are I love the dynamic with you guys too, because you both are just going at it 110 miles an hour. So, but anyway, I hope you guys have a great day.
Thanks for calling in, Dart.
Yeah,
All right,
bye-bye.
Dart. See,
Oh,
Dart
what
didn't even see me here. He said,
I
"You
had-
two guys," and that's my friend.
I had 2 guys in the waiting room, and now they're both gone. They got tired of waiting. Well, you know what? We should probably get on with our days, unless you losers don't have anything else happening.
Nah, yeah, I gotta get going here, guys. I know it's a little bit later where I am.
I was gonna say it's almost 5:30 my way.
Okay, so Planet P's been. Let's just let Planet P
Yeah,
get.
get him in here.
Planet P.
Thank y'all. I'll be quick. I just wanted to add this. Like, this was my main point when I called in the first time. I just kind of got out of hand talking about Bill Russell. But a nice observation. I want y'all to think about this. In any other sport, you don't hear the fans talk about the players of the past as if they couldn't play today. Like, you're not going to listen to people talk about the NFL and you hear somebody say, "Oh, Barry Sanders couldn't play today," or Walter Payton couldn't play today, or Deion Sanders couldn't play today. You're not going to hear anybody talk about hockey and say, Gordie Howe or Wayne Gretzky or Bobby Orr couldn't play today. Only in basketball do they say players of the past couldn't play today. And I just think it's funny, like, even if you just look athletically, like, you can't tell me, and I'm a Boston fan, you can't tell me if Luke Cornett, Xavier Tillman, if these guys can find roster spots in today's NBA, that are Bill Russell, that are Elvin Hayes, that you know what I'm saying, great basketball players. If you got guys today that are clearly not as good as the players of the past, and they found a way onto the roster, it doesn't even make sense why it's an argument and why it's a mainstay around the discourse about basketball that players of the past couldn't play.
Yeah, just have the integrity not to even go down that path.
Yeah, man. Yo, listen, yeah, you run the money though, man. I really appreciate you saying that, because I've noticed that also. You don't hear these in other. Listen, this is why I tell people, as far as ESPN and some of these mainstream media platforms are concerned, like, if you want to get some information or get your facts from Major League Baseball or college football or the NFL from ESPN and some of the programs they put out on ESPN, by all means. But I've always told people, as it relates to basketball, the NBA, they don't have any integrity left on that platform, man. They're not giving you the honest facts, the historical perspective. They're not, even the broadcasters now. Listen to the way the broadcasters for basketball officiate and broadcast these games. It's laughable, man. These guys are not giving you historical perspective. They keep telling you how great great these guys are, but they won't give it to you in the context and perspective to the guys in the past. So like you said, everyone from back in the day is trash all of a sudden. They weren't great athletes. They weren't fast. These guys couldn't jump high. They weren't even playing basketball as far as they're concerned. We don't know what the hell they were playing, but it wasn't basketball. That's what they want you to believe. But like you said, it's only for basketball that they do this. They won't tear down the other greats from the other sports because once again, those sports are holding on to the integrity because they're not being corrupt by all these weird people out here, the LeBron James fans of the media, man.
Thank you, Planet P. Let's get DeAndre in, and then we'll end with Jamaica. Jamaica's back in there. DeAndre, you're on.
My man, AOH, sports and fitness, spam engine. I'm sorry, I don't got my glasses on. I'm not familiar with you, my brother, but you other two gentlemen, y'all give me hope. I gotta say, I'm a super fan. AOH, I even put my mom's onto your content. My mom be watching you roll. So I wanted to say though, this is divine timing, straight up. I was in a pro LeBron chat so I'm pretty private. So I kind of but man, last night a conversation came up about LeBron, and it was fascinating because you guys talk about the fanboys all the time, and like I said, I'm pretty private, so I kind of stay out of these arguments. And oh my goodness, when you talk about the delusion, my brother, they weren't trying to hear anything that I was saying, and then they pushed the goalpost so far. Everything was, oh, but he's doing this at 40, or how is his numbers going up, and he's going up this. Like I tried to explain, the game has sped up, so yes, he's getting more shots, so he might have a higher average now. But when you start breaking down all of these logical things, they couldn't hear it. They couldn't, and I'm like, dude. So I just wanted to say, first off, I'm you guys are inspiring me. I'm gonna eventually get this YouTube thing off the ground because I've been working on a video about how LeBron is the king of spectacle. We living in a society of spectacle, and he's the king of spectacle. Even with getting his son to the NBA, like that's a business move. Like I'm sorry, I'm skipping subjects, but
you're good.
I was trying to tell the gentleman last night, like the Lakers make their money, or the Bus family make their money off of the Lakers. So this was a business move because LeBron James' name still makes money. And then with the jersey sales of the senior and the junior, the jersey sales revenue was enough of an incentive to hire or sign Bronny Jr. And that's creating probably the biggest spectacle that we've ever seen. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. I can't even watch. I'm a diehard Laker fan. Been watching the Lakers my whole life. Born and raised in Los Angeles. I can't even watch because this dude done hijacked my team. So,
yeah, that's painful.
Man, it's wild.
That's painful.
It is.
Yeah, thank you, DeAndre. I have a video I've been working on called Scrutinized. LeBron's been so scrutinized, and it's going through all the examples, and I can't finish it because there's so much. But it's
always
not that
something happens.
Well, it's not that, and exactly, and who's doing it? People aren't digging up shit. LeBron's presenting it. He's like, here's some more stupid shit coming out of my mouth, but don't say anything about it, otherwise you're scrutinizing me.
JJ Redick did that in that press conference, right? When he mentioned Bronny James, no one asked him about Bronny James.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, Bronny earned it, and everyone's just looking around confused. Like nobody asked you about anything like that. DeAndre, I will say, stop saying eventually and just drop something. I had AOH in my ear for weeks about putting videos out. And granted, I've only put 2 out, but for me, it was always like eventually, like just drop it. Like, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, y'all give me a follow. I'm doing it this week.
Cool, man.
Yo,
Good luck.
For real, man. That's
Deal.
what it's all about, man. Thank you for saying that, people inspired you and things like that, man. Thank you for the support. It means a lot, man, because I was inspired by other YouTubers, and I was inspired by the nonsense I was hearing. That's why I often tell people, don't come to my comment section and be crying in my comment section, man. Show me that you mean it and make a video about it, because that's what I did. I didn't like what I was hearing, so I decided to make videos about it and put the facts out based off of the perspective of someone who grew up watching these things in the 80s and the 90s. That's strictly my perspective off these things, man. And once again, it's all about setting the record straight and stopping the lies and the narratives.
What Steam Engine kept telling me about this incredible video he was editing, and after a couple months, I was like, just fucking post something. Get number one out there, and then you can get back to your editing.
You're seeing the broken pieces of that video one by one.
All right, we are going to end with our guy living in Jamaica.
What's going on?
Candle guy, what up?
You got a closing statement for us?
Yeah, I have 2 points. You have in the past asked about your long format video. I actually like those. If you want, you can cut them up into like segments. That's cool too, because I listen to you while I work. As it relates to SNFR, that's sports and fitness rants. That's too long to be said. I listen to you when I work out. So yeah. So that
thanks a lot.
Yeah. As it relates to that guy that keeps dodging you on the Sunday program that brought in Gil last week. What's his name again?
Oh, FYF.
Yeah. That guy is a plant. That guy's on your platform to infiltrate and work for LeBron James. I'm telling you. Yep. I'm pretty sure he has what's the social media app?
TikTok?
Shit. No, the other one.
MySpace.
Come on, man. No, dude. Everyone uses it. No. What's it called? Before TikTok, it was popular.
Twitter?
What's that?
Vine?
Instagram?
Forget it, dude. Forget it. Instagram. I know he's on it. And he has a page on there that he's trying to downplay the 90s and all of Michael Jordan accomplishments. And as it relates to the 90s, this is one thing I have to say. Nick Wrong, I got that from one of you guys. Angry Old Hoops. Nick Wrong, he's always saying that Michael Jordan played against plumbers, right? I find it odd. Because what's worse, to play against plumbers or to play against a horse trainer that keeps whooping your ass? Which one is worse?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh? I don't know. So you guys keep doing what you're doing, and y'all have a good day, yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Take it easy, man.
So for those of you who don't know, and you can't tell by where the conversation went, this was talking about Jordan going and complaining I'm trying to remember what we were talking about.
We went off the rails.
I have no idea.
But
listen, we talked about it in the beginning, but once we started taking callers, we just started going all over, and that's okay though.
But the beginning is worth going back to. When this is uploaded, people will go back, listen to some of the stats that Sports and Fitness Rants was spewing about the reality of Michael Jordan's foul calls, whether or not the refs were actually helping him, and more importantly, why are you going and talking about that while pretending that LeBron James isn't getting the most help we've ever seen ever? But I'm going to quickly wrap it up. If you guys have a few words, and then we'll bring this to the end. Thank you, all the viewers that came on today. Steam Engine first.
All right. Let's make this short. It's SPEAM. E-N-G-I-N-E. Listen, I'm not offended when people fuck it up. I'm not. I get it. I just want to clarify. It's SPEAM, no space, E-N-G-I-N-E, and the little @ symbol in the front.
All right.
Yeah. No, real quick. I've seen people say nice things about me. That's cool. It's cool to see that. And I appreciate it.
Sports and Fitness, take us home.
Oh, once again, you guys know the deal, man. You guys know the name. Sports and Fitness Rants. Shout out to my man, Steam Engine. Once again, the legend AOH. I am honored to be on your show, to do this with you as usual. I will see you guys on the Sunday live stream. And let's not forget, man, the 92 Dream Team, guys. Remember, the 92 Dream Team is the Dream Team. The greatest assembly of basketball players in the history of the world. Don't listen to Nick Wright and these other idiots out here. They don't know what they're talking about. They weren't there for it, man. Those guys were great. Why? Because they had the fundamentals, they had the skills, but more importantly, they had the heart, the grit, and the will out there. So once again, I'm blessed. Oh man, blessed to be with you guys, man. Thank you to everyone in the chat, everyone that supported our channels. Thank you guys, man. It means a lot.
All right, thanks everybody. Leave in the comments if you want to see this again on Wednesdays regularly. I hit
Wait,
the
I
end.
was going to say, are we signing out? Because now it's awkward.
Well, I hit the end stream button like 5 times and it won't end.
I think this is still live, so now it just looks.
We just rolling with it. We just rolling down the river. This is like the extra beef footage, you know, when you watch a movie at the end, they have the outtakes and stuff. That's what we got going on.
Jesus. Right. Well, somebody say something funny then.
We always saying things funny, man. My man right here, Speed Mention, he's a comedian.
CGP, it's Speed Mention, no space.